everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. You know, the United Way goes back probably 80-something years after World War II, and specifically in this parish, 44 years. 1979 is when it started, and its annual kickoff drive is started. It's underway, and here, of course, to talk about it, United Way Executive Director, Helena Moreno. Merlos. Moreno. I almost call you Helena Moreno. I've been watching too much New Orleans television.
No,
but
I don't want to live in New Orleans.
No, you don't want that job, that's for sure. So let's talk about the kickoff. And, you know, like I say, 44 years now in Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah, definitely. This has been, I started, this United Way actually has only had 2 executive directors. So I am only the second.
Wow.
It was actually run out of New Orleans for a while.
Who's the first?
Jenny.
Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Gilmore.
Jenny, yeah, she's a good girl.
Jenny Gilmore was the first one, and then Jenny retired, and I came in 1996, and it was actually a job I really wanted. I grew up in this area. I know the area. Lived here most of my life. We came when I was 5. So it's really nice to go into companies now. I see a lot of people that I graduated high school with. They're in positions, whether they're attorneys or doctors, welders, that kind of thing. It's always good to catch up. But in this area, it first started, it was the Houma Terrebonne United Way. And then after 79, they expanded into Lafourche, and then from Lafourche into Assumption and St. Mary. So that is our 4-parish area now. And since 1979, we have raised millions upon millions of dollars that have been plowed right back into our community. And we like to say it's not a handout to people, but a hand up.
Right.
You know, sometimes whether you're living paycheck to paycheck or you just hit that one little snag that you need food for the month to feed your kids, or your doctor prescribes medicine you can't afford, you can't pay your rent, your kid really wants to be in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts and you can't afford that. That is where the United Way comes in.
Right.
We fund social service programs that are functioning in our community, and they're doing wonderful projects that are really needed.
Yeah, and you work with everyone too, right? I mean, that's
Definitely.
kind of what's almost not a clearinghouse, but yeah, you know,
No,
this way you can work to a lot of different charities.
No, definitely. A lot of our companies that we deal with say, you know, if we let y'all in, then we got to let, you know, XYZ company in to ask our employees for money. In a way, you are letting everyone in when you let United Way in. Because, like I said, there are 2,200 United Ways across the country. They all fund different things, but we're all run by a local board that is autonomous. We fund what we think is important in our community. So places like, you know, the St. Vincent de Paul Pharmacy, the Haven, like I said, the Scouts, those are the programs that are special to us. It's special to the people who give to us. But there are some programs, you know, if your kid got cancer and went to Children's Hospital in New Orleans and they saved that kid, then maybe you don't want to you look at our list and say, well, I would really like to give to this program because they really helped me. We have what we call special designations. So you could give to another United Way. So if you live here in Houma, but your parents are living in Houston and they're getting Meals on Wheels there, you want to give to that United Way, you can. If you got help from St. Jude's or from Children's Hospital and you want to give to those programs, you can. You can give through the United Way. And then like I said, I signed a bunch of checks this morning, and that's the money that people give.
Donor designation, right?
Donor designations. It's the only time that anybody who gives to our United Way that we will send it out of our area.
Right.
In some cases, it's programs that are here, you know, like Mary Bird Perkins down the road. They used to be one of our agencies. They're able to sustain themselves, and that's a success story when a program is able to do that. Terrebonne Council on Aging is another one. You know, they got that millage passed. They're now able to sustain themselves. They said, okay, give that money now to someone else because they could use it more than we can. Right. So that, by doing that, it opens it up. So we have right now 16 programs in our area in the 4 parishes that we give to every month. But we also give to all those other agencies that people say, it's your money. That's been my philosophy. It's your money. You should say how that money is spent and who it goes to.
No, that's a great way. And look, if there's been one criticism that's a national thing. Why we do that? But this is where the rubber hits the road, and this is where you can designate your own. And you guys are obviously have the pulse of where the community needs it.
Oh, definitely. We do what we do. We have these questionnaires that we put out like every 10 years or so, and we ask people like, what is important to you? One time it was literacy. I think it's still important,
right?
But now they, especially we cured. No, when I got here, they told me they were like, one. I think it was like 6 in 10 people were functionally illiterate.
Right.
And I was like,
no, I think we're better.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And it was like, so I think we've gotten better in that.
Sure.
But now, people can't afford to buy groceries, or they can't afford medications that they're on. I mean, when you look at the price of insulin,
oh yeah,
it's crazy. So that's why we started funding the St. Vincent de Paul Pharmacy. So
right.
It's just been
great. And then obviously all the work that's been done post Ida,
yeah,
and all of those storms, housing, all that kind of stuff.
Oh no, we're still doing long-term recovery because there's still people in those trailers, and we want them back. Our goal is to get them back into a safe home. And if they're, a lot of people, this is their home. So my home, I was able
it's
to
hurricane season, right? Yeah,
exactly. So that's one of our goals too.
All right. So look, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the kickoff campaign specifically. We're also a pretty cool Pack the Bus, which we have some video of in the third segment, but we'll do all that. So let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Spending a little time with Lena Merlos, United Way Executive Director. So, again, this is a special time of the year. You guys go from January to December, I guess, in a year. But the way you start next January starts like right now, and this is your annual kickoff drive. Can you explain exactly what that is?
Yeah, what we do is we go into companies and we sit down. Some companies give us 5 minutes. Some companies give us 20 minutes. We cater, we kind of tailor our campaign to whatever time you have in front of your employees. And I like to think of it as a two-prong approach. It's not just me coming in and asking you for money. And then so it makes it easy because our companies who let us talk to their employees, they could give a couple of different ways. So one is, it's called My Fair Share, and it's 1 hour's pay per month. So if you get paid weekly, you get paid monthly. Take a school teacher, they get paid monthly. So if they make $20 an hour, I really don't know how much they make, but if you make $20 an hour, and then so it's a lot easier for me to say, can you give me $20 a month instead of $240 a month? So, and in some cases, if the person's making minimum wage or a little bit better than minimum wage, those are the people actually that are the most generous to United Way. Yeah. And that's what the one reason is that they've seen or have used, or they know someone who has used the programs. They've been in line at the food bank. They've been to the Haven because they're in a domestic situation. They go to the St. Vincent de Paul Pharmacy. So they see those programs in action, and they want those programs to continue. So that it's an easy way to give, because we're not asking you for a tremendous amount of money. Right. There's a line where you could circle it, and you could give $20 a paycheck, but there's a line, and if you can afford $1, that's what you give.
Take it. Yeah,
we'll take it. It doesn't matter. Like, we deal from like big companies down to people that have 2 employees. Right. And we'll go in. But the second prong approach of that is that there are a lot of people who watch football on Sundays, and that's where they learn about United Way. Now, it's usually in our area when you're watching the Saints. It's United Way of New Orleans. And you'll see, like Drew Brees building a playground somewhere or something, and they think, well, that's sweet, but I'm not giving my money to that.
Right. Let Drew give his money. Right.
Exactly. So they know about it because the NFL and United Way do have a great partnership. Unfortunately, they only talk about the United Way of New Orleans. So in our United Way's case, we fund different programs throughout the year. And like I said, you could designate to somebody else. But a lot of people not only do not know that, they don't know what those programs do. And I'll give you an example. This is like right when I first moved here, and I thought we had a huge issue. I went to one of the local banks, and we were short-staffed that day, so I do a little bit of everything. Know how to use a forklift, everything.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
So I was out doing their campaign, and I went in, and we talked about, actually one of the girls from the Haven came as a guest speaker. So we talked about what United Way did, our partnership with the Haven, how we give them money every month for them to do their program. We're one of their donors. And so there was maybe 20 people in that meeting. And the girl from the Haven called me later that afternoon, and she said, man, you're not going to believe, but 13 of the 20 people in that room called because they were either in that situation or they knew of someone in that situation that needed to get out. They needed a safe haven to get out of a very violent relationship. Right. So in that case, to me, even if none of those 20 women gave, at least now they know this is what United Way does. These are the programs. We give you a brochure that kind of gives you a one-sentence explanation of what the agencies do. So it actually educates you as to what United Way does.
And what you can help out.
In some situations, like you said in Ida happened right at this time of year when we were kicking off. And we stopped. We didn't ask anybody for money. We just went out. We gave away supplies, water, non-perishable food, generators. And now we're helping people get back in their homes. But that's another time that when people came through, and it doesn't matter if you have $1 million in the bank, if the grocery store is closed and you can't buy water.
Right.
Right. A lot of people are like, I'm never going to need United Way. And in some cases you do. It just depends on the situation.
Yeah, without a doubt. So one of your other things when school time starts is pack the bus.
Yeah.
So explain that, and the next segment is actually going to be a whole segment on pack the bus, and we're going to go travel around with you guys for Lafourche and Terrebonne. But explain what we're going to see and what it does this time of year.
Yeah. No, 9 years ago. So this is our 9th year doing this, and every year I always, you hold your finger, you kind of cross your fingers a little bit, that people give. And this area, unlike a lot of other areas, is really generous. So right now, kids are getting ready to go back to school. They have, I think, 2 more weeks that they're off. But they start that first day, and they need certain tools to make them successful in the classroom. And some people just can't afford it. We had a guy call the other day, his house burned down. His school supplies, unfortunately, for his kids went up with it. So Pack the Bus collects all that stuff that they need to make that kid successful in the classroom. And then so on day one, the teachers and the counselors know who those kids are. Mm-hmm. They get them those supplies because they might not qualify for any other program.
Right.
So this program, and because of our community, helps those kids not only learn, but not be singled out that they don't have the right supplies.
Yeah, no doubt. So obviously you say 600 businesses in the 4-parish area. So there's a lot of ways you can contribute from your businesses, but anybody that wants to contact you.
Definitely. Give us a call. It's easy peasy. It's and that way you also teach your employees what's available out in the community if you're not doing United Way.
Right. Elena, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Elena Merlos. So we'll be right back. More Bayou time right after this.